Today's 1989 Batman.com merchandise spotlight is on the Kenner Dark Knight Collection and Batman Returns Thunderwhip Batman. First of all, we'll take a look at the carded Dark Knight Collection version, and then we'll take a look at the carded Batman Returns version, and then we'll take a look at both versions loose, and then we'll move on to the couch review. So that's the gist of everything that's going to happen. Alright, so the Dark Knight Collection packaging, as you all know by now, features the shot of Michael Keaton at the top, the Dark Knight Collection logo over here, shot of the figure, description, little thing about what he does, spinning arm makes weapons whirl, then we've got the carded figure down below, and the accessories off to the side, and then we've got the later series Batman logo behind him that they added in for the later figures. On the back of the box, we've got a bunch of figures in the line, including the later series figures like Knockout Joker and Power Ring Batman. We've got the Dark Knight Collection logo again over there, and the Thunderwhip Batman instructions, which is place one of the two weapons in the right hand of Batman, turn the thumb wheel on the back of Batman to spin his Star Shield or Batarang Whip, and the weapons will spin to fight off criminals. Good job, Batman. Alright, so there is the Dark Knight Collection version one more time from the front, before we take a look at the Batman Returns version. As you can see, the packaging is quite different on the Batman Returns line from the Dark Knight Collection line. Instead of the Michael Keaton picture, we've now got dedicated artwork for each figure, which I absolutely love. I think this is a great shot. It's Batman all in black. He's spinning the weapon in one hand, and he's whipping with the other hand. It's got a lot of things going on. And I said this on the Batsky review recently, but this kind of packaging, this art, it's so exciting, and there's so much going on that it would really just grab a kid's attention, at least it did when I was young, and really makes you want to buy it. It's kind of a lost thing nowadays. But anyway, so we've got, again, with Turbo Weapon spinning arm blurb over here, Batman Returns logo, the carded figure down below, slightly glossier, as we'll look at it when we get to the loose version, and the weapons are now purple as opposed to the Dark Knight Collection gold. The back of the packaging features a sort of white shadow behind that they've printed into the card. It's a really neat effect that kind of makes the weapons look like they're kind of coming off the card back. Really a cool attention to detail there to add just that little bit of white. It just helps add more action to it in the package. On the back of the box, we've got more figures from the Batman Returns line, the Thunderwhip Batman name over here with the Batman Returns logo, the instructions again, which is pretty much the same thing I've just said to you, so there's no reason to say it again. And so, let's look at him one more time from the front before we take a look at the loose versions. Alright, so we've got our Dark Knight Collection version here, and our Batman Returns version over here. As you can see, the weapons are different, which we've already talked about, and the gloss is, the Batman Returns version is much glossier than the Dark Knight Collection version. It's a good way to distinguish it if you end up with loose ones without accessories. But if you got a super glossy one, it's in all likelihood the Batman Returns version. Other than that, they're pretty much the same figures. We'll spin them around here. We've got back shot of both. They've got these wheels embedded into the torso, and we'll take a look at that in a second, that action feature-y type thing, once I clear one of these guys off. Back to the front. Now, they have an action feature built into them, which I've just shown you. Let's move one out of the way so it makes it a little easier to deal with here. You put the whip batarang thing in the right hand, spin the wheel on the back, and it whips around. Now, if he's standing up, let's get him going like that. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Now it's really going. Oh, yeah. Spin it, Batman. Yeah, so there it is. Accessories, we've got this Batarang thing on a stick, whip thing, and the gold Ninja Star shield thing. We'll also talk a little bit more about in the review. The Batman himself has got a lot of new elements to it. Obviously, he's got that wheel in the back. He's got these new arms that have detailed armor on the glove area to more accurately match the film. I know you can't see it that well in the video, so if you'll hit the info section down below this video, it'll take you to link to still pictures, and you'll be able to see all the detailed shots of Thunderwhip Batman. I think that about covers all the close-up stuff, so why don't we just grab these guys up, we'll take them under the couch and do the review.
The signal goes out.
An intruder has been spotted at Wayne Manor.
Down in the Batcave Command Center, it's time for Gotham's greatest hero, Batman returns.
Not a bad nest.
Batman makes a crashing entrance and sends the Penguin flying back to his Arctic hideout. Without warning, Batman appears.
Surprise, Penguin!
Pity penguins can't fly. Batman returns. Batcave Command Center and figures sold separately. Some assembly required.
Hey everybody, welcome to another 1989batman.com merchandise spotlight, toy talk review, whatever you want to call it. As you can see by the opening sequence, we are looking at the Thunderwhip Batman figure from the Dark Knight Collection and Batman Returns lines. As you can tell in the opening sequence, the only really difference between these two figures is the accessories. So for a figure like this, where it's such a minor difference, we'll just group it together as one review and put it under both categories, both Dark Knight Collection and Batman Returns. The packaging for the Dark Knight Collection is one of the later series figures, so it's got this Batman symbol behind it, but it's basically the same layout as always, with the Michael Keaton image, the figure's name, picture of it. Watch your feet there, bud. Instructions on the back on how to work your Thunderwhip Batman, a bunch of other figures in the line. Whereas the Batman Returns packaging has the artwork of Batman using the Thunderwhip and the Ninja Star shield thing, I guess, is
I
what he's
really
calling
don't
it.
understand the point of these two accessories.
Well, we'll get into that. We'll get into it.
I kind of understand something about the Thunderwhip, maybe.
We'll get into that.
Okay.
Let's finish up on the packaging first, and we'll talk about the accessories. I lost my train of thought.
Something,
I don't know. But
packaging?
the packaging, yeah, it's got an image of Batman up here, and then it's got instructions on the back as before, with this time the purple accessories in his hands, which actually looks like they took new pictures for that instead of just changing it in like post, like changing the picture.
Well, look at the second picture. That one's the exact same thing. And
No,
now
it's not.
The third one's still.
No, they're different pictures, dude. Look at that positioning of the hands and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Those are all different pictures. Anyways, so very minor differences between the two. Really, it goes down to which color of accessories you like more. The gold, which is more in keeping with the Dark Knight Collection kind of coloring. They used a lot of blacks and golds in Dark Knight Collection.
The gold.
Yeah, or the purple, which is kind of more in keeping with the Batman Returns kind of coloring of accessories and vehicles and stuff like that. It's purple. Let's talk about the figure himself to start with. Now, my Dark Knight Collection Thunderwhip has a slight less gloss than my Batman Returns. See how this one's like more shiny? And as you saw in the opening sequence, I put them next to each other. And
Is one supposed to be like that?
I don't know. I don't know if maybe I just got one that wasn't quite so glossy. Because there are earlier Dark Knight Collection figures that are slightly different between releases. Like sometimes the face is painted slightly different, or the chest mold seems a little fuller. There's little slight differences. So I don't know really if there is a glossy Thunderwhip Batman out there, like a really glossy one from Dark Knight Collection. But I tend to think that they all sort of have this more flat look to them, whereas the one from Batman Returns has more of a glossy appearance to it.
I also think that kind of makes more sense in a way, I guess.
I guess it kind of does, yeah.
Because the Batman Returns, the Batmobile was definitely more glossy.
Definitely look glossier. I don't know if it was an intentional thing to make it look different, or just having the plastic was cheaper, or what. But that is a good way to kind of distinguish the two if you have them loose. If you see a slightly glossier one, you might have the Batman Returns version. Looks like all the markings and stuff are the same. So that might be a good way to distinguish the two.
I know what my favorite part of the figure is.
What is it?
The gloves.
The gloves, yes. Other than the arms, like Blaze said, there's a lot of reused stuff here, as usual. The chest mold looks like it's pretty much the same. The head mold's the same. The legs seem the same. The back has this wheel, so the back mold is new, and that wheel is on there to give it the twisty arm thing. And this arm can move up and down, but the wheel twists, and it makes the wrist pivot, and that's the Thunderwhip action.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it makes it spin around. So it's almost like you're getting one more joint of articulation right there. Articulation right there, that you can move this piece back and forth from where it has the action feature built into it there. But Blaze was saying about the gloves is the gloves are a little more accurate to the film than the regular standard release Crime Attack and things like that. It's got the armored piece and like the ribbing across the knuckles and over the hand. So that is really cool, especially this hand, this arm, which doesn't have the feature built into it. It's just a good standard arm. And another thing to note on this is that both hands are like gripping hands, so that can actually hold stuff, which plays into the accessories it comes with. It comes with, oops,
Something you dropped.
something I dropped. a Ninja Star shield thing. Now, this Ninja Star looks a lot like the Ninja Star that was made for the film, but you don't see in the film. And it's one of the things that comes with the Hot Toys Batman, are these little Ninja Stars.
Right.
And it was in like I think the magazine and the movie magazines. I think maybe in the card set there was a picture of it.
What would he have used that for?
I don't remember off the top of my head, but there was going to be Ninja Stars in the film, and you don't see them in the film. I'm sure it was to fight goons or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'll try and throw up a picture right here of the Ninja Star just so you can see what it's supposed to look like. So I think that's where this design came from, and that just kind of clips in either hand. It can go on as like this shield thing on the hand that doesn't move. Hey, Cringer. Or on the other hand, which is the spinny hand. I can get it on there. And then it just kind of spins around.
That's kind of weird.
Kind of strange, yeah. The other hand, I think, the other accessory is more what's meant for the whipping hand. And that's what looks like a batarang on a line.
Yeah, towards the beginning of the first movie, like when he was... I don't want to say too much.
Yeah, you can say it. I mean, everybody's seen that scene where he throws the batarang and hooks around their legs and pulls them the other way. So I think that's what this is kind of like, and it's almost like he's like throwing it, like whipping it around and ready to throw it or something like that.
Kind of cool, kind of weird. Yeah,
I kind of like it.
I like it because it's still all complete black, so it's movie accurate type.
The thing I like about this, and we've talked about it before, is that all the accessories that Kenner came up with, they tried to kind of play off something that was in the film. So I like that they did this and try to do these things like, okay, well, what kind of weird accessories can we do for this kind of feature that kind of play off things that were in the movie or were supposed to be in the movie or whatever. So I like that it plays off of that. And I like that he's got, newly sculpted parts, which is something you didn't see that often amongst the Batman figures. And like you said, having the accurate gloves is really cool.
Yeah. You made a custom with, like, the gloves put on it?
Yeah, I can't remember if I used... Yeah, I used these gloves. I cut these gloves off at the wrists and added them to a non-spinny action feature, like a crime attack or something like that. Yeah. To kind of get
the... It looks really cool.
Yeah, thank you. To kind of get the most you can out of like making an accurate 89 Batman. Overall, I think it's a really cool figure. It's maybe not the most go-to of the black suit Batmans for your most accurate one. I still think that Crime Attack is maybe the more definitive one of the bunch. Yeah. But each one has something going for it. Crime Attack is just a good, plain figure. This one's got the nice gloves, but it has an action feature built into it. And then you have like the Shadow Wing one that has a really nice chest sculpt, but it's stuck with an action feature as well.
I like its action feature. It has more to do with the movie.
It does, yeah. This Thunderwhip thing doesn't have so much to do with the movie.
One thing about that is it kind of goes with the Wayne Manor when the windows smash open. The worst building for him to crash into, though.
Oh, yeah, like he crashes into his own house?
Batman, make the crashing entrance.
Yeah, it's like, Alfred, pull out 1,000.
Yeah. Oh, I broke the window again. Alright, so that's it for this one. If you want to check out pictures of it, hit the info section at the bottom of this if you're watching it on YouTube, and you'll see still pictures of Thunderwhip Batman. Alright, and we're going to sign off on this one, and we will see you guys next time.